Hey there, everybody! Check this out. You remember this, I'm sure. We are, in fact, back in Path of Exile. This is a place you may not have seen before. So, why am I back in Path of Exile? Well, first of all, it's because it's a freaking awesome game. And second of all, because there have been huge updates, sweeping changes since I have last made a video. So, as you can tell, there are lots of people playing it now because it's an open beta, and the version now is in the 11s. It's, version is like 11.1e, maybe? In any event, the game has had a lot of changes. If you've played it before, you may notice that graphically it's actually more impressive looking. There are better effects, the shadows are better, there are lots of particle effects that have improved greatly. The even smaller things like the cool reflections and shines and the mana and health orbs, the way the energy shield counter looks, and even the way that a lot of the item art looks. The item art, which has always been one of my favorite parts of this game, has been being improved and sort of worked on lately to make sure that there are no duplicates, and it's not done yet, but it's getting there, to where higher level items don't look like just palette swaps of lower level items. Now they look completely different. Now that isn't true for all items yet, but they're working on it. In fact, they've just done a bunch of sweeping changes to helmets and headgear so that they look different. And also they changed the way that the items reflect on your character to make them all show better, like my vest and my gloves. So yeah, that's part of the changes. They've also done Easy RPG is tripping balls. They've also done a lot of changes to the passive skill tree, or the skill forest, or the sphere grid. Now, it's gotten a little bigger since last time, as if it could possibly do that, but the keystone system has changed a lot, and keystones, of course, are these very large nodes like these. They've added more, they've changed the places of some, including some of the favorites like Chaos Inoculation. And they've just switched around the way that a lot of these nodes are placed, so that just the general way that you build your character has changed a bit. And they've added a lot of these as well. These aren't keystones, these are just big, big nodes, essentially, and they've added a bunch more of them which do all kinds of stuff. So I'm currently kind of working my way over here right now, in the sort of the shadow area, because I wanted pain attunement. And I may eventually get Chaos Inoculation, but not right now. It's very good in the higher difficulties, though. Also, Infused Shield seems good, but I can't get that without getting CI, so I'm probably not going to get that for right now. Could get Eldritch Battery, but there's no need for that. In fact, especially if I wanted to get that, then that'd be bad. Okay, now moving on. As you can see, key item. They've added a bunch more of those. They've added new quests and new rewards, all kinds of new microtransactions, which are fine because they're actually completely fair. Lots of really cool effects like footprints, weapon glows, helmet glows, wings, horns, halos, all sorts of stuff. And this is something I didn't really show off last time, and I'm going to show it off right now.
How you doing?
And that is the idea of vendor recipes. Now, as you may know, there is no currency, one single currency like gold in this game. There are instead currency items like these, and they all have different values. You can go to a site called exilestats.com, and that will show you the current market prices for things like these, so you don't get screwed over when you want to convert some. Now, what a vendor recipe is selling a specific combination of items to a vendor, and instead of just providing you with what they would for like the sum of its parts, like say if I give them a giant life flask, they'll give me a scroll fragment, not worth it at all. If I give them a mana flask, they'll give me the same thing. And if I give them an orb of fusing, they'll give me the same thing. So you would expect that if I traded all three of those, that I would get 3 scroll fragments. However, if I do this, you'll find that it changes. Instead gives me a hybrid flask. Basically, it fuses these two together and creates a hybrid flask. So I'm gonna take that, because I want it. And I'm going to sell my old hybrid flask. And I don't know any recipes that actually involve a hybrid flask, so yeah. I'm gonna get rid of that. And that's how vendor recipes work. You sell them very specific things, and they will give you specific things in return that might be greater than the sum of the parts of what you're actually selling them. For example, these onyx amulets. If you want one of these, you can sell any kind of amulet and a blue, green, and red skill gem. If you do that, they will sell you an onyx amulet. And there are all kinds of stuff. If you want, like, say, some of these scraps here, like, oh, where are they? Armorer's scraps. You gotta sell armor that is of a certain quality to them. Or blacksmith whetstones. Sell weapons that are a certain quality. So, let's see. I don't know if I even have anything like that. It's got plus 1% quality. If I sell armor pieces that add up to, I believe, 20%, they'll give me some armorer's scraps in return. And things like that. If you sell an item to them that is like this, a green, a blue, and a red socket, but they're all linked. If you sell one of those to them, they'll give you one of these, a chromatic orb, which is very useful. And so on and so forth. There are lots of them, and the Path of Exile wiki over at Wikia actually has a list of the recipes, so you can kind of figure them out, because there are some that aren't very intuitive and that are quite difficult, like the flush recipes, which involve you selling items of the same type that are different rarities and different qualities and things like that. So what I really wanted to show you is this. This is Act 3. So this is something they've recently added. There is now an Act 3 in the game. Used to, once you beat the Val Oversoul, the boss of Act 2, you ended up back in the Twilight Strand in the next difficulty up. However, that is no longer the case. Now, there's an Act 3. It involves the town of Sarn, and it is in fact a very desert-like act with some very cool stuff. So, I've got a couple of quests going on, but the only thing I can really do right now is go to the Solaris Temple. So, I'm gonna head there just to show you some of the areas. We've got the city of Sarn, which is where you start, which is a destroyed desert city, and then the slums are like that as well, but a little larger. Then you've got the warehouse district, which is complicated and has lots of interior areas, and the marketplace, which is similar, but these also have sewer areas below them. And then we get to the Battlefront. Battlefront is an interesting place. So I wanted to show you some of the new stuff that's in Act 3. So here we go. New areas, new monsters, and they've even added a bunch of unique items and things, and also, recently, diamond flasks are back. Now they give you a much higher crit chance instead of, like, instant guaranteed crits and things. Alright. Okay, here we go. We've got the Blackguards now, which are part of the story. They've added a lot more to the story and a lot of lore, which is awesome for people like me. Activate my wrath. And what that basically means is that the game is tied together much better now. And there are events with a certain person named Piety that you will find, and all kinds of things like that now, and this whole faction of the Blackguards and why they're here, and what really is going on here. And they've really started to tie the story together. They've added a ton of this story detail and lore, these sort of stones that you can click on in the earlier areas, that will tell you a bit about that place. So here, there are these ribbons that just go nuts on you and try to kill you. I've built a fairly strong witch, I feel. I like the dual wand sort of crit fire builds. I think they're fun. So, oh yeah, all kinds of new enemies now. These Orite warriors can be quite difficult because they're statues and they have a lot of health. Alright, level up. I'm not going to increase the level of my Wrath gem yet because I want to have more mana first. And Incinerate's almost there. Alright, I need to start building again. Now, where should I actually go? I'm not using a professional build, obviously, because I just wanted to sort of make my own and figured what the heck. is there a keystone that I want to build up to. I don't use curses, so that's not irrelevant at all. Got that. I'll go ahead and get this. A bunch of extra crit chance. Boom, apply. There we go. I've also upgraded my Incinerate gem, which is a newer gem. So where it fires multiple projectiles very quickly, and the thing is an absolute destroyer now, but it drains mana like no one's business. So I gotta be a bit careful with it. But these are some of the new areas that you're seeing here. So we've got all these crazy, oh balls, all these crazy sort of temple areas and things. Yeah. Huge Incinerate damage. Oh, that feels good.
I need more mana.
Oh, it doesn't matter. You died, son. Alright. Now, I'm going to make it into Solaris Temple a bit, hopefully. And I just want to show you the sort of interior tile sets of that area, some of the new stuff in there, so you can get a feel for the way Act 3 is. It's very temple-filled, very, oh my goodness, very, oh, dark kind of, like, evil ritual and ancient destroyed city, and oh god, it's stuff like that. It's really pretty cool. And a lot of it has to do with the Vol now, which are that sort of ancient race that may have caused a lot of this nonsense. And, yeah, there's tons and tons of new lore and just stuff to discover, and that's really cool for people like me that love that kind of stuff. And, just this game in general reminds me a lot of Dark Souls and Demon Souls in the way that the lore works, because it's very obfuscated and very twisted and dark. And you have to figure a lot of it out yourself. And I really like that. So let's go ahead and head into this temple here, so I can show you the Immaculate Solaris Temple. This place is quite difficult. I actually have to make it all the way to floor 3 before I can get a waypoint here. But look how pretty this place is. This place looks awesome. Music has been improved. They've added lots of unique music to new areas. The general like frame rates and things have been improved. This thing runs at a solid 60 for me now. And ooh, 4 links. I'll take that. Or 4 sockets rather. And it's just, it runs better than it used to. What the heck is that? Flame Sentinel. Interesting that it resists cold and not fire. Oh, we've got a rare monster over there, it seems, because that's what that yellow glow is. Necrodheart the Fallen. Ugh. Alright, let's start with some of these. Alright, gotta be very careful of some of the tougher beasts in here, because this place is high level. Ooh, Tribal Circlet. Take that. So the music in here is actually quite beautiful. And, they've added just tons of stuff, so. Prismatic Ring. I'll take that. Just to keep it. Might be very useful for fighting other people. Uh-oh. Is that a unique? Oh no, that's a torch. That's a torch and not a monster, you genius. Oh dear. Statues coming to life. Oh no! Alright. Be careful. That is not careful. That is getting murdered. That is... Okay, that's the Voltaic Seal. That's a unique monster in here that has killed me before. Mostly because Shock Nova is a ridiculously powerful burst damage. There we go. Whew. Ah, okay. Let's see. Do I want any of these magic items? I don't think so. I think I'm good. I tend to pick up mostly rares and items with good links and sockets, but I am good. Because of the very limited nature of your inventory in this game, you're basically forced to. So, as you can see, they have upped the difficulty of these new areas, it seems. In the new areas, I would say, because they are new. And quite significantly extended the length of the game. I mean, Act 3 is fairly long, I would say, and it has a lot of optional areas. Like, say, the Necropolis, or not the Necropolis, what am I talking about? I'm thinking of another game. Not the Necropolis, the Catacombs. Similar, I guess it's still a City of the Dead, isn't it? but they've also added a fair amount of story to even the previous areas. Like, say, when you first fought Brutus in the prison, Axiom Prison, there used to be just nothing there. And then eventually they added this woman that just stares at you and then walks away, doesn't say anything. And now they have added story to that woman, who is actually Piety now and is an essential character, basically the big bad of the whole game. And they've made her talk to you, and they've added story behind her, and even characters linked to her that you can save and bring into your towns and things. So as far as the story of the game goes, they have vastly improved it in a short amount of time, and hugely upgraded like the backstory that you get in the lore of Wraeclast, as well as the people here, and even the exiles such as yourself and what you are. So for people that are into lore, they have improved that aspect greatly. For people that really just like a solid mechanical ARPG, they have tightened up the movement, the attacking, things like desync. It is still a problem, I will admit, but it's getting better and better. They have made the item art even more impressive and varied, and they're adding more as we go. For people that are worried about pay-to-win nonsense, there is none. All of the microtransaction-based stuff is not a problem at all, and it is, in fact, I would say quite beyond fair, like in the fairness of Dota 2, where it's pretty much no stats at all, and it's all just, oh god, flammability, it's all just cosmetic stuff and fun stuff like that, pets, and nothing that's going to make you super powerful. They've added a bunch of new leagues to the game that change the way the game plays, obviously, like Onslaught, and they've also added these leagues that are timed that you can join in that are like special events, almost like a raid or something like that, which is pretty cool. And of course they have also added new end-game content, which is in the form of those maps, where once you beat the game for the final time on, I believe, Merciless difficulty, the 3rd difficulty, and you're probably around like the mid-60s in level, you will be able to find maps that drop and use them in a special room that is only accessible once you've actually beaten Merciless difficulty, that allow you to pretty much for the foreseeable future run new content of these randomly generated maps, some of which are unique. They all have their own modifiers like prefixes and suffixes, they have their own quality items, all kinds of stuff, and it's a whole new mechanical system that they've put in for end-game content. And it's very impressive. GGG continue to listen to their player base and continue to add just stuff. And the game still isn't perfect. There's still issues. The lag issues have been improved greatly, but it still happens occasionally, and the desyncing issues have also been improved, but they still exist. However, excuse me, I would not say that they should prevent you from playing the game, because they shouldn't prevent your enjoyment. They're frustrating when they happen, but they don't rear their ugly head over and over again constantly. So, I gotta say, I feel like if you've not tried the game out yet, now that it's in open form and you can actually just download it if you want, ooh, rare boots. Just do it. Just try it out. It is a lot of fun, and it's got so much content now, and they're adding so much all the time. And no, it is free to play, but you don't have to spend money to have a good time at the game. All of the content in the game is available to you, whether or not you spend money. And aside from that, well, I guess I'm going to continue running this temple. Oh god! They've also made it now to where the enemies will change depending on difficulty. They have basically new levels and things of enemies, and items. Also, of course, they're adding more tiers of items with item art that is beautiful, very well made. So, essentially, what we're hoping for is that they continue to add to this game for the foreseeable future. They continue to keep it nice and balanced and fun, and really just make it a unique ARPG experience. It is broken away from the mold, I feel now. It was compared to Diablo 2 for a while, and it still could be, but now I feel like it's different enough. It is its own game, and it's a really good one at that. So yeah, I just wanted to give you an update on PoE and show you that it is still popular, it is still going very strong, it is still extremely fun. and having new content added to it on a regular basis. Also a rare gold ring. So, I guess if you guys want to see more, just tell me. The wiki is a very good resource for the game. There are sites also with builds like Exile Pro, and there are sites like, like I told you about exilestats.com, which will give you the going rates currently for the currency items in the game if you want to do some trading. Trading is completely safe, and no, there is no real money auction house. There is no auction house of any sort, thank goodness. I don't believe this game needs it, and I think that they should keep any form of auction house away from the game, and they have so far done so and made no comments that suggest that they want to put one in. I don't believe that they do. Cool looking dagger. Hey! Naked woman with a hammer. And there you go. Oh dear. While all these ribbons try to cut me at 2 ribbons, I will sign off, I suppose. Maybe I'll try to make it to the second floor really quick, though. I love the sort of wireframe art that the map uses too. It's very cool. Does that have a name? I don't think it. I think it's just wireframe, really. There's no specific name for art like that. But anyway, kill the ribbons. Fire seems fairly effective against them, which is not really surprising at all. They have continued actually to even add quest lines, alternates, like, you know, side quest lines to the older content. Like, they're not just adding Act 3 stuff, they're also going back and adding more stuff in the previous acts. Because, well, it is the Diablo style of difficulty, meaning you replay the content, so of course they want more stuff to do. And, as of now, they're doing a fantastic job in making sure that you don't really get bored if you're into these kinds of games. And I very much am. Alright. Oh god! Okay. That's a lot of fire. I'll give them some fire back then. Okay. Stun locked there. That's not good. What is that? Oh, it's just a sentinel, I guess? It just happens to be very strong. Okay. I got this. I got this, guys. Oh, just kill it. My auto attacks do a fair amount of damage now, especially with Wrath. Got some rare ones. I really want to get some unique ones. I would kill for, like, some Moon Sorrows. That would be really nice. Die, please. Just die. Okay. Whew. Take a bath. That seems good. Oh god, no! Interrupting my bath. Get off. There we go. Antique rapier. Oh, statues always coming to life. In any game, just tell me, in any game, every time you see a statue, seriously, do you not think it's going to come to life? Of course it is. They always do. Alright, so there's a room over there that's filled with things that want to eat me. That's good. Let's go in there and kill them, shall we? Kill the Sentinel first, because they deal tons of damage. They've also, if you are interested, added a ton of support gems and new skill gems as well, so there are new ways to build your skills and new skills to build. And there have actually been some impressive improvements in the way that the support gems work. There are some new very cool ones, and as far as I can tell, at least, the support gems that they've been adding, oh god, have actually been a little more general and related to a lot of the characters, to where they're sort of becoming integral in builds across different classes, and they're not specifically, you know, useful for a single class, because the way, due to the changes in the skill tree, the way that you actually can build your characters have been changed, have been altered, and it's still, there are no limitations on your characters. Like, every class can use every weapon and things like that, and there's no jack of all trades really, unless you really want to build that way, but I wouldn't recommend it. And they are avoiding, like, sort of an amalgamation of classes, but they are making it to where building classes has become more flexible and thus more fun. And that hasn't made the game easier or anything like that, or like dumbed the mechanics down at all. It's just changed the way that you can build characters. And basically, instead of making it easier to build characters, they've simply added more ways to build them without removing the previous ways or simplifying the process at all. So I've got to say I really like that a lot. I did not mean to pick up that robe, however. The way that this game is currently developing is just very promising to me, and I really am starting to like GGG an awful lot. They're doing a pretty great job. There are some problems. Yes, it is not a perfect game, but honestly, I have so much fun with it that I could not recommend it more to someone who likes ARPGs, or even maybe to someone that doesn't really like them or isn't into them. Give it a shot. It's a lot of fun. This place is quite long. There we go. There's the level 2 of the temple. All right, let me just see what I've got here really quick. Just identify some of this stuff. All right, Woe Brow Tribal Circlet. It is a tiny bit more energy shield, but dexterity, evasion, energy shield, maximum shield, energy shield, rarity of items. That is nice. Also, it's lightning and cold resistance. Ooh, that's actually pretty tempting. Even though I lose a ton of evasion, I also lose a lot of dexterity, though. I'm not sure if I can actually... Yeah, I can't do that because these gems have a dexterity requirement. So I can't do that. What about these? Foe Stride. Armor 60, energy shield 17, 29, 9. Wow, I don't even have rare boots. I didn't know that. 12 to strength, armor and shield, maximum life. Dang. Yeah, worth it. I lose a bit of intelligence, but not that much. Awesome. And what about this ring? Empyrean Grip. Physical damage, a lot of life. Huh. Hang on, what's the rarity on that? 9. That one's 9. It's dex. Can I... No, I can't lose that dex. Alright, let's replace this one. There. There. Yeah, there we go. Cool. There we go, folks. Some more Path of Exile. If there's anything specific you want to see, make sure to tell me. Feel free to comment on the video and tell me what you think of, you know, what I'm doing. Requests are taken into consideration. And, if you would, you can subscribe. I know people say that a lot because, hey, you want subscribers. But, seriously, if you want to, go ahead. If you don't, that's fine. But feel free to like, dislike, whatever. But if you dislike my videos, please tell me why. I understand that I can't do this perfectly, so dislikes are completely fine. However, if you do, oh my god, I'd like to know why so I can improve, because I know that I'm not, oh my god, I know that I'm not perfect at this. So any dislikes, I don't get mad at people, but I take it as I'm doing something wrong. And I'd like to know what I am doing wrong so that I can actually improve on that, because I've got a way to go, you know. I need a little bit of help in how to do this even better. I want this to be my job eventually, so if you people could help me out a bit, you know, you people watching, help me out a little. Tell me what I'm doing and what I should be doing. If you see something that annoys you, or just you think I'm doing something wrong, let me know. I'm not gonna yell at you, maybe. This has been an updated look at Path of Exile, now in open beta. I will link in the description below this video to the site, oh my lord, that allows you to download it. And I guess I'll see you in game. So holy crap, have a good time. And oh no! Okay, this is bad. 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 And I will see you.
I need
then.
more mana.
I'm gonna die, aren't I? Use a flask. I said use a flask. Oh, okay. Welp. Looks like I need to do a little more looting. I'll see you guys next time.